Hey everybody. Oh, looks like the camera stopped. That's good timing. I'll get that fixed in a second here, but hope everybody's having a good day. I'm going to be working on our packed contracts today. There we go. And it's just going to starting it for the token generator. There's a couple things it's going to do. One of them is going to track some state things for me that I'm going to match up with our front end and really just make it easier for people to manage so that it can all be kind of hands off. So I had added some functions. So basically, when you go and you generate a contract, there's secondary steps like if you want to do a sales, well, you have to manage that, right? And so in our IDE, you can actually load your contract, and it should ideally, if you generated the contract with us, it'll have this information, and so you'll be able to load your contract. And if you've got sales enabled, it's all going to be in your contract. So if you later on decide you want to modify it and you take that out, that's fine. But then it really won't work with our stuff, and that's fine. But if you want to be able to manage it easy and set sale dates, set whitelists, set prices, this is going to handle all that for you, soup to nuts. And so all it really requires you to do is create a smart contract, and then the rest of the logic, just building a simple data structure in the contract that basically says you have these features, and I'm not even going to say what they. I'm not going to dive into what they are. I'm not going to write the names down. It's implied you have to deploy into a namespace, which I am all for. Nobody should be doing free namespaces, and then it'll just kind of pick through. Hey, Ron, how you doing? And one thing I will say, because I always do a terrible job about this, if you wouldn't mind, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitch. The YouTube link I put in our chat. It may show on Twitter, it may not. I'm going to find out later when I rewatch this. And if not, I'm going to probably start posting it more. I just need more followers so that I can do more on YouTube. I don't have enough followers, unfortunately. I'm getting close to my content hours, but that's part of why I'm doing this more. I missed almost 2 months because I couldn't talk, and so I'm a little bit behind. So I'm going to do more and more. It's a little bit weird getting back into it after taking some time off, but it's nice and fun. And ideally, today I'm just going to be working on Pack today. Uh, I've made some updates to the site. It's looking pretty good, and so I think it's a good stopping point to finish the other pieces we need and see how far we can get. If you were Solana, it would be called. Yeah, that would be like the nicest way to put it, Ron. I can think of a lot not nicer things that people would probably call it too, but hopefully that stuff doesn't happen. I wish I could overlay this somehow, but let me just share my screen before I forget. I didn't do my mic check, but I assume you can hear me. All right. I actually thought about coding this in my uh, little window, maybe making it bigger. It would work, but I want REPL. So I've been debating if I got this set up right, I technically could do both Pact and REPL in there, and I'm debating it so that you could actually do REPL testing right from the site too. I just need to run a Pact server, maybe. Yeah, I just need to be able to run Pact, and I think I can. I probably can figure out a way to do that. Uh, Maybe that's a project for when I'm actually done and it works, and we can get crazy. But for now, I'm just gonna get I'm just gonna get started on this, and a couple things I need to go pull. So I think I'm just gonna call it. Now let's go define key set. Uh, Gov. Let's see. So this would be like dot KTG. Yeah. This should be good. KT guard. I don't know. And the governance. Oh boy, it's been a while. I always take a break from this, and then it's like, let me make sure I get all my syntax correct. And I kind of broke my ID formatting. I gotta go back and fix it so it's not all white text again. But and this would be that guard. Yeah, I actually like it like this. It should look prettier. Yeah, there we go. I was saying, I'm happy to do like giveaways or like almost feel like some type of like trivia at some point or game while we're doing this to get more people involved and not just me yapping away the whole time. But today I'm happy because I don't usually get to do this much anymore. So yeah, and I don't want anything gimmicky, but like if people are gonna win stuff, I don't want them to just win because they showed up and I spin a wheel. I don't think that's my jam. I don't mind. I've helped people set those up. Yeah, some channel specific stuff. Yeah, yeah. If you come and you engage and you do stuff, I think it's more fun for me. It can be distracting, but it's more fun. So contract schema. Let's just do schema. So we'll do doc, and then key value is contract. Oh, how do I want to do that? I feel like the key value should be the full contract module, module plus contract. That's good. So then we would just have account. I don't think I need to store their guard if I just do account at guard. It's not that top secret here. I don't think it matters. So just make sure that's lined up. The stuff in the channel show. Yeah, yeah. No, I think that all sounds good. I mean, whatever we can do to get the word out there. I don't know. Contract screen. I think that's all I need. And then it's def table contract. My spelling has not improved. So contract sh. All right, cool. And then I'm gonna do def const yellow. And then that'll be that will be we really do. Yeah. All right. Okay, good. All right, so all that's happy so far. Yeah, I think Twitch has like some add-ons and stuff. I get more people on Twitter, and that's why I was like, I can have a there's like some Twitter options for chat. I just have to have it open. And the problem is people have to have premium, so it's kind of a little prohibitor. So what can you do? I actually want another Def Cap AG. It really is going crazy on this today. Let's see. At guard. had a new way to do this, and I don't remember what I was going to do now. How did I want to do this to make it more descriptive? Proves you own this account. Yeah, that's good enough. So then for now, I just make sure. Yeah, my highlighter, my text highlighting really broke. Do I have like an extension or something? I disabled. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Well, I'll deal. I'll slum through this one, and I'll figure it out later. All right, so I want functions. Yeah, insert contract. Add contract. Add insert contract. Contract. I don't like that. CT. I'll know what that is. Insert contract table. CT value. And then I need module CNAME. So we'll need a CNAME too. That's our index value. Don't need a CNAME. All right. This can go contract count, and then contract will be string. So this is a CNAME contract name. Contract is CT. Boom, boom, account, CT. And the index value is going to be the combined module and contract name. Perfect. Really easy to look up. So there's no guard here. So this would be capability AG count like that. Okay, with capability AG account. For now though, I don't want it. I don't want any interference. So let me just make sure. Close my module. Expected literal. Ah, yeah, that's right. Okay, so we need a key set KTG. I have another. Just gonna steal one of my other repls. I don't feel like uh, going too deep into this. It's not necessary. Okay, so we're loading that. That should be success. And then this is the start the. Okay, so then we're gonna begin. X. Mm-hmm. I did do some crazy thing the other day, and I remember. So I'm not going to talk about why I did that, but soon enough. And so this is begin TX. So this will be to load the KTX environment. And I need keys of, was that what I called it? KTX? KT guard. You know what? I'm gonna be so confused if I don't do KTX guard. All right, so KTX guard, and then we're going to invade this, and use that. I've done this way too many times. KTX guard's good, and then pride. Keys all, and then the way I do mine. Grade false. Anything else I want? I don't need that right now. All right, so this would be create table contract. So packed load ktg.repl. Perfect. So to verify it works, I'm just going to first off panel position, right? Oh, so much better. All right, so first I'm going to run my def count. So that should be um, use use. No, it's got to be. I just loaded this. Dot YOLO. It loaded. Did I not save it? Oh, no, I didn't load it. Load ktg.path. There we go. And then that's commit tx. That makes sense. Add argument. Oh, it's just looking for UTX guard. That's why. Oh gosh. Keys can be whatever I want. Head can be whatever I want. Is that why it's unhappy? Keys, ATX guard, keys all. Did I type something wrong? Take it easy, bud. That's what happens when you don't do this for a little bit. Let's see. Keys is right. Indeed data. I'm just looking at another file I have. It's literally the same thing. Keys, ATX guard, red all, KT, maybe. What the heck? Define Key set. Define key set. Define key set. Yeah, I don't understand. I defined it. I'm reading it. I shouldn't need this whole thing. It's possible that I had it spelled wrong, which is why I should have just done this in the first place. Received KTX card, keys, KTX card. Yeah, that's what I wanted it to do. So, could do it here. KTX card. I just have to say my namespace. Namespace is this. KT. You little bugger. KTX card is right there. I'm setting it right here. KTX card. That's what I'm doing here. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? This is read no such key message. I'm setting. You can have this. The data right here. KTX card. Fine. Yep. You are perplexing. That is in the QMB data. Begin. Have a namespace. Of keys. Let's just try K. K. But it is there. Begin. No, I'm defining it already. Just wonder. Oh, here. No, it's really not happy. What did I do to this thing? KTG. Let's just messaging. Hey. Ah, no, it's not wrong. I'm wrong. That's fine. I'll, woof. I didn't close it. I put those commands in there, and that's why it wasn't closed. Not define a key setup. That's fine. All right, so let's just put this back in here. Madness. I tell you, madness. My eyes are playing tricks on me. Okay. Can't validate string. Oh yeah, it makes this count. That's CT. CT is count. Okay, there we go. What a joke. That's my bad. All right, so that's why my color stuff matters, I guess. The first thing we're gonna do is let's go back and use, and so we should be able to run YOLO. So we need the whole thing. Hmm. Thought you could just read those. Is it because it's YOLO? Expected def counts. Hmm. Okay, whatever. Thought there's a way to read those. Maybe you still have to create a some type of function. Anyways, doesn't matter. So we're gonna add contracts. So this is use that. And then add dash, and this is Bob. And this is the name, so this is TTG contract is dash mod, and this is some B64 nonsense. Perfect. Okay. Let's do this. So then that loads our environment. And so we're going to begin TX, and this is going to be a basic test. Use PTX. Okay. So we're going to set that, and so we're going to need something to defund get contract. I don't need that. I just need the contract name. Because again, that is our value. What is this nonsense? Match. We'll just do a read contract at CNAME. That's right. So we'll run get contract at this name. Yeah, so one thing I'm going to do, data, and this is going to be contract. CNAME. It's going to be this. So it's a little more readable. Read message. CNAME. There we go. That'll be a little more consistent and easier for us to use. So CNAME, commit, commit. Ay, ay, ay. Did I not close something again? Yeah. This, I love Copilot, but it always forgets to close the function. Use KTX. Yeah, I don't know why I keep calling it KTG or KTX. Let me get rid of that. KTG, KTG. That should fix that. Perfect. So we know that this belongs to Bob. We know that contract is a basic. So what else might we want to do? Returns the inputted contract. There we go. Cool. Alrighty. So that's the basics, like very, very basics. So I'm gonna probably force that we enforce counts on this. I'll add that. And then for add contract, I'm probably gonna, I'll just replace this with right. Let's see if that just lets me. Yeah, it should. Okay, so I could do add, use, I need like a hotkey for this. Use this, and then we're gonna add contract, and this will be Bob, and this will be yellow, and okay, okay. Actually, CNAME is the second value. KTG dash mod. Okay, so now read dash or get this contract. Contract is okay, okay. Okay, so that updates it perfect. And so when we add the capability in there, the idea is if you make a change, I want you to be able to update the contract. So we're going to store the contract in base 64, so it's a lot more. There's just so much less that can go wrong, in my opinion, to encode and decode it that way than try to store the whole contract because JavaScript's going to add all sorts of escapes and stuff, and it just becomes a headache. So it's very easy to retrieve, very easy to store. I think it was 12K, 12 kilobytes to store it, a whole smart contract. And I may change my mind. I only need it for the initial deploy in case something goes wrong. But I don't think there's going to be any harm to keeping those pretty tight data. So we'll want defun. Uh, people will like. Some people will like this. Some people will not. Guard. So this is going to be. Oh gosh. I don't even want to try remembering this. I built this function. I don't remember how long ago. Let me see if I can find it. I have a function for um, one of the games for Heron, and it does a lookup. If I can find it, it'll save me a lot of time. And it'll, I might have to go back to my GitHub, unfortunately. Get account. Get token per KDA. Perfect. I still have it. Module. Yeah, there we go. This is going to be very nice. So, really? So, what this does is it pings the DEX and returns the value of the token you input and the the coin pair essentially. Because I think most things are coin. I could always update this, but I'm basically going to say, let's see. So this is. Let me go run this. Just show you. We need to be on mainnet, mainnet, chain two. Oh, you bugger! What did I do? Why is it not happy with the chains? Did I hard code that for some reason to test something? Oh, that's embarrassing. So chain ID, chain ID, chain ID. Interesting. Chain ID. Transaction details. Chain ID is that and that. That chain ID. Set chain ID is not a function. Okay, that's fair. So I did something. Set chain ID. TX Builder Store. Chain ID. No kidding, I didn't put that in there. What on earth was I thinking? Set, or I blew it out on accident. Ah, set domain name. Interesting. I see what I did. Oops. I was moving stuff around. There we go. Can't resolve fungible. So we would need to feed it fungible, and then look at that. Look at that crazy number. I'm actually glad that happened because now I can fix it. We obviously need to trim this response. Um, Anyway, so 1 KDA to 3,249. So that would mean 32.9. So 150, 154 KDA per. I'll debate if I want to change that, but that's the idea. Is it was this doesn't matter. It's just for testing. So that's going to return it. So I can use that to say you must pay. So returns burns the the yeah, like that. Sorry if anybody messaged me. Oh yeah, a couple of you did. I'll uh I'll check that in a little bit. But that's a useful function if you want to query the DEX. We've talked about this internally. There's nothing wrong with doing this for like a non super serious app. If you're running like a serious financial type application, do not do it this way. There are other ways you should be calculating this with an Oracle on chain, and I do believe we're going to have those soon, hopefully. And so I would just tap into that personally. I will be tapping the heck out of that just because, and I hope it has our. I hope all those have our tokens, like all of them. But really, if not, there are other ways to do this. You probably would need to feed it, but this is like a real time snapshot. The problem with this is if you have a low liquid token, what somebody savvy could do, or just a jerk, is they could go and dump into it or buy it up, depending on what they want to do, and take advantage of uh, a low liquid environment. And what I mean by that is, if you were supposed to pay 150 KDA, they could tank the token real quick down to like a 50 KDA binding, and then rebuy it back up, and take the delta there and just win. Or they could just leave it as it is. And so it's probably not going to be that dramatic, but if you have enough of the supply, you can do those kind of things. And so you have to be careful. And what I would probably do is I would have like a min amount. So it would be this like min, and this isn't how I would do it. I'm just showing like an example. So I'd say min. Let's see. I'll have to bind this, but let's just say min from Dex. Like if min from Dex, or like if from Dex is less than. Oh my gosh, plus me. Uh, if amount from Dex is less than min, then use min, else from Dex. Something like that. So you get the idea. That just don't use that. Just logically speaking, flow. You could do something like that, or less than. Or it doesn't matter, less than or equal to. But you could get the price, the minimum price you want to pay, and you could set a maximum price. So you could do that both ways, and that's maybe what I'll do. Is I don't want it to go over a certain amount of KDA, not because I just don't want to penalize. Like I'm not trying to penalize people here. I think this will be fun, and I think it'll be cool for community members to be able to actively do something for their token, which is more than just, oh, hey, go do this giveaway. Like, okay, you give away tokens and then the price goes down because people will sell those tokens immediately. So, okay, that's cool. I mean, that's cool. You could do that. But if I hear people complain about those things, that's why you're giving away the supply for nothing. And so instead of doing that, let's give it a reason to nuke the supply. And instead of giving away supply in this case, we're actually taking a payment. I'm nobody's taking the payment. It's going right to a smart contract. Uh, and it's essentially saying if you want to use this service, there's a fee for the service, but it's not like you have to pay $100 to some entity. You're basically saying if you own this token, you're going to pay in this token, and uh, it's going to burn it. It's just gone, right? And so I've got another contract I'll probably work on tomorrow. I might stream that one because that one's gonna be fun. Just a couple thoughts on building a burn contract that any fungible could use. And so if you wanted like a burn wallet, it's going to be non-upgradable, no way to tamper with it. I will have a couple of the really good devs I know between hopefully some of the Canadian devs would be willing to look at this too, and some of the community devs that we have just to spot and really set it. And I think it'd be cool because then I will be able to track. And so that's an option we can serve, right? I'll be able to track for anybody. You could track it on the website. You could track it in Twitter. You could track it in Discord. This will make it easy for my bot to post every time somebody burns, or like every time like 10 million tokens burn or something, or 100 million, which 100 million would be excessive given the supply. Even a million would be a nice little show. And so you could kind of see those stats as they're available. Just thinking through not only designing a smart contract, but how would people want to use it without having to have infrastructure and all the extra stuff? How do we make it easy? And so that's one way to do it. And so that's part of this is me thinking through some of the changes I want to make to this. How is this ending here? Interesting. Something get chopped off here. It's not going to be able to find this. Probably sneeze again. Okay, so defund. That closes that, and that closes that. I'm curious what expected list. Let's see. You got burned. Probably why. There we go. All right. Let's see. All right. So those are like the key things we need. I'm gonna add so burned. This to be a decimal. So this isn't gonna be like a you. This is how much you've paid over time. This is gonna show like this person has burned this much, and so I think that'd be kind of cool to track in here. I don't know that this contract itself needs to worry about tracking burns because the burn wallet will have that. But if I wanted like a quick snapshot, I can retrieve how much a single account's done. So like in here, I would need with uh, read and then count burned. Hmm. So then that comes out and goes here. And then I need another, which is count is count, sex, name, burn B, right? And then burned would be 0 plus 0, like plus burn amount, burn. I'd have to define this somewhere, but you could just do like that, get token for KDA, and then do, you'd want a helper function for this. You wouldn't want to type this all out, but that would essentially get the fee that you're paying, and you would do like B, you add this together, something like that. I'm not gonna at all do it like that, but that's just an idea. For now, let's just make it simple and keep it like this. I don't actually need any of this right now. Yeah, just keep it like that for now. It'll just always write. Ah, okay. Basic test done. Okay, so that's the outline. I like to just mock up what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna go back later and check through it. I knew what I wanted, but I'm starting to think there's maybe a couple more things I want to track. But I want this to be very simple content. I hate when I make them too complex. So for now, this will probably be a. Uh, I want to make that a value I can change. So I'll actually create a function that modifies this value, but then I can reuse this without changing my logic later if I want to use this logic, which I may not ever use. I just may not ever use it. And it doesn't have any harm passing this in here because we're just going to return this. It doesn't really matter. But what I could do is I could actually track my module name and come up with a fee amount. But for now, it's just Heron, so it doesn't matter. Hard coding, it's probably, to be honest, to be honest, I shouldn't even do this. I should leave it blank and stop doing that. It's not going to let me. Fungible is, yeah. So then what we have here is you don't need to have fungible. Bind it to this. And essentially, it's just another easy way to keep this a little more solid. And you can absolutely make a reference to this somewhere else, so you don't have to have it in this one function. Because if you're going to use this in more than one place, you should have it in a function. But if I think I'm only going to need it here. Uh, I'm pretty sure I'm only going to need it here, maybe one other place. So I may end up making a reference for it somewhere else, but I'm not going to change this. That should be hard coded forever. So let me see. Hey, Tori. That's all right. I'm only going to hop off in a few minutes. I'm just working on the token logic so that we can deploy a contract with this and burn some Heron and testing. So this would be, instead of you got burned, this would be like what? And let's go with GT decimal get dash token per KDA. GT token per KDA, and we will use cost decimal. And there was a way I wanted to handle this. There's a very specific way I wanted to handle calculating this. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so this is so this would be times one amount GT. And so then we would do Heron that transfer from account to burn, baby burn. So this will be a burn wallet cost. And then from account yeah. So then I would say like format and was burned for KDA. Do I have enough data to simulate that now? Let's see. Oh, come on. It's because I don't have that module. Son of a gun. Oh, never fear. That doesn't matter. We can just do coin. Okay. Burn wallet. Def const burn wallet. Bob. Thanks, Bob. Such a trooper. Perfect. All right, let me Let me just like redoing that later. Okay. So Bob, you're gonna burn. I'm gonna add a little bit of formal verification on this one in one spot, I think, maybe two. Before I go too much further, the things that could bite me, like cost must be enforced. Yeah, something like that. Cost must be greater than or equal to zero. And Coin will enforce that, but and so will the Heron contract, but I'm not going to even leave that to chance. All right, should be good still. So if I wanted to test this, I would need to install all the caps and stuff for this. So for now, I may not test it, but I think later, when I'm building out all my tests, I will absolutely test those conditions. And I think I'd rather spend my time adding verification to this and maybe one other area just to make sure I don't miss something in REPL. But this would be test burn. Who do we have to work with? Test accounts. Let's use Alice. This is what it is, right? ENV6. So just need coin.transfer in here, right? ENV6. That's fine. Same format as we're used to do. And we'll specify the key for else. And then yes, that's right. All right. Coin.transfer from else to Bob because he's our holder. And let's just say 300 because I don't know what it actually is. Coin.transfer else to Bob. And then use it. It was burn yeah, right? Burn him. So I need Alice. Okay. Burn Alice. Read key set. Alice. Yeah, yes. I have a suspicion that might fail, but let's see. Key set failure. Yeah, I was wondering. Um, what are their what are their keys? Find out details. Alice key. Of course it is. Key Alice key. Alice key. Perfect. Because it burned. 789. Nice. Aaron was burned for 210. Okay, so one thing I need to do here. Decimal? Can I do, is that put a decimal on there or on the value? I think it's on here. Decimal. What makes sense to put there? 210 KDA. Cool. Well, that worked. So let's try putting 100. Should fail. I should be able to just do packed ktg.repl. Perfect. Transfer exceeded for, that's what we want to see. I'll write some tests. I got a whole test folder. I gotta write tests for all these things. Um, my function for that, pulling that funds in, calculating the math, that all works. Really doesn't. I really, like I said, I really don't want this to be a complex smart contract. It's got to track, get contract, returns the details. I could have a function called get defun get dash uh, code name string at um, contract at. Oh, that is probably contract. Read contract. Hmm. Oh, name read contract name at. It's got to be okay. Yeah, okay. So this would be let's just run that real quick. So get code, get dash code. That's why it's helpful to reuse that CNAME. Lookup only supported with strings. Ah, yeah, that's probably what maybe. Okay. So, okay, so that's going to return just the base 64, which is good. So this will be doc returns the B64 contract string. Yeah, value. All right, do I have notes for everything so I remember what the heck I'm doing when I come back to this later? Doc, doc. Every one of these in a different place. Doc, useful play. I'll start adding capabilities and more guards in here in a minute. But I think for now, we can add a contract. I'll fix all this up, clean it up. We can read it, we can track it, which I don't know if I want to deploy chain. I think I'll parse the contract for that instead. It's less to track. But there's like a supply chain. I'd have to turn this into an object or some other type of just use a def schema maybe, and I might do that. It just gets clunkier. I'll think about it. Maybe yellow. Okay. Yeah, I think this is all very simple. I want to figure out if I want to use this or not, or I'm just going to hook it up to. I have my own Unchained Oracle. I can just hook up to that too and just do the math. I just like this because it's nice and I don't have to make sure it's always up to date. Um, but if I've got liquidity on other dexes and stuff, which I don't, but if I did, this would be very dangerous to use personally. So the only thing, the other maybe more complicated thing I was going to build onto here is a wrapper for the swap function, and I will probably do that in here just so that I've got it cemented somewhere that I can have people take a look at, and really just make it easy if people want to swap stuff. If they don't have enough, they can swap it and then true up their balance really easily, making it easy. And I think that's it. I think for now, I'm gonna finish this up tonight or tomorrow, and then get it out to a couple of people to look at. But I want to add, like I said, I want to add formal verification to it. I'm going to add a couple tests and clean this up. So I'm still getting back into it. Hey, Azza, I'm still getting back into it. I hope that I try to over explain things a little bit on purpose because most of the people don't know. And the people who do know, I love when you guys comment on this. The people who do know Pact, uh, because you ask really good questions. And the people who don't know ask different questions, and they're not bad questions. It's just good to get that exposure. And so as you learn more, you know more, it's easier to have conversations with people and explain. Like, I'm trying to, when I say I don't want this complicated, I'm saying that because I want somebody to read my code and understand what it's doing without me having to explain every detail, right? So if we put notes in here and we comment things, it's a small contract. I can afford to comment it up a little bit. So hopefully people can read it and find it's not that intimidating to work on. But the hard part next is securing it, which I know all too well. And there's not any money being held in here, so I'm not too worried about it. But we're just gonna go that extra mile. I think at this point, and if I say it's gonna take me 2 hours, I'm gonna give it like 20 and just do it right and call it a day. So I appreciate everybody. And again, I should find that Twitter or not Twitter, but the YouTube, and go on there and follow. I'd appreciate it. Follow us on YouTube. I think it's at Kadenai, Kadenai, and I hope everybody has a good day. So thank you, and I will be back on as much as I can. Assuming my voice keeps holding up, we'll be good.